Tzfat Israel, we're here in the Alshech on Sunday morning. Baruch Hashem, we're in B'yam Darkecha. The shiur is the Lui Nishmat Avraham ben Rachel, L'avdi ben Chaim L'chaim, to a refuah shlema of Yaakov ben Dina, Reuven Sisel ben Malka, and Aviv Mori Yosef Camilo ben Elio. And Miriam. Bezat Hashem, we're going to be learning about the mitzvot of Purim. Right? We learned about the Megillah, and we have still the Suda to learn about, but it's a little bit of a longer lesson. So now we're going to go into the Matanot Levyonim, the gifts to the poor, the tzedakah of the day, and also for Mishloah Manot, the gifts that we give to our friends. Matanot Levyonim is a physical expression of bitul. After we receive the light of the Megillah, our job is to take this light and to act with it, right? To make it, to apply it into this world with an action. And this is the inner aspect of the mitzvah of Matanot Levyonim. It is doing an action, but it's only being done because Hashem commanded us to do it. From a place of bitul, I'm nullifying my intellect, I'm nullifying my emotions, and I'm giving money to people that I don't even know, and I don't even have a relationship with them. So what's the difference between tzedakah that we're commanded to do every year and Matanot Levyonim that we do on Purim? We do tzedakah the whole entire year, and we always have to give to every single Jew. Even if I don't recognize him, even if I don't know him, I have the mitzvah to give tzedakah if he needs. Because he's my brother. He's the son of a king. I have to help him. And this is a thing that is impressed inside the hearts of every single Jew, that they are merciful and they give kindness. But this mitzvah of Matanot Levyonim, there is a new Halacha that came out of it. There was a chidush here in this form of tzedakah, and it is that she'en midaktekim b'ma'ot Purim. We are not precise with the coins of Purim. Meaning that even though the whole entire year, so that we shouldn't lose out on the coins of tzedakah, we have to check who is the person that's asking for tzedakah from me. Is he really poor? Is he fitting to receive or not? Or is he a cheat, right? Is this person really poor? Does he really need my help? Or is it some guy that knows that he can make $200 a day if he just puts his hand out? Right? You can't just give to anybody. You have to check a little bit to see who is this person. Is he fitting? But on Purim, it's not the case. Halacha says it's not the case. And by the way, to check who you give your money to is Halacha. Right? Hashem gave you money. He deposited money in your bank account. You're just a banker. It's not your money. It's Hashem's money. And He gave you a commandment to invest that money back into His nation. But during the whole entire year, you're commanded by Halacha to check that the receiver of that money is a fitting person to receive that money. On Purim, it's not the case. We give to whoever puts their hand out. Kol poshet yad notnim lo. Whoever reaches out his hand, you give them. Like the Arizal writes in Shara Kabanot, he says like this: "B'yamei achol tzarich lirot lemi noten hatzedakah, aval ata shu hera gdola en lakpid ela kol mi sheposhet yad notnim lo." The Arizal says, was a big posek himself. People don't know this, but the Arizal was a big halachic posek as well. That whoever, during the whole entire year, you have to make a check of who am I giving the money to. But on Purim, since there's such a great illumination of Hashem's light in the world, then we shouldn't be stringent with what's going on in our pocket. Rather, anybody who puts out their hand, you give them. What is the inner reason of this? Why do we not check who we're giving our money to? Right? Again, it's not our money, it's Hashem's money. And Hashem commanded us to use it properly. So how could I not make a proper check? We have to understand this halacha. Why is it that I give without checking? In the NLBL, the truth is, I give tzedakah, I could be giving tzedakah to a junkie, I could be giving tzedakah to a person who's not fitting to receive on Purim. The inner depth here is that all the money of the tzedakah that a person needs, right, that he has to give, it's all nullified to Hashem in his mind. And to know that this money, it's completely Hashem's, and I'm just His messenger. The whole entire year is externally Meaning, the way that the world acts usually is given to a person to decide what to do with his life, right? Throughout your life, you make actions, right? Hashem's really the one doing everything, but externally, it appears as if it's your money and you decide what to do with it. Again, externally, because that's not the real truth, right? But that's just how it appears. Therefore, you have to be responsible of your actions, and you have, as the banker, as the treasurer of Hashem, you have an obligation as part of your job to act with responsibility and to check where is this money going. But on Purim, since the light of Bitul is so powerful, it illuminates the whole entire world, then you nullify yourself completely to Hashem, and you have no job as treasurer, and no reality as banker. You're not the banker, you're not a treasurer. You're an ATM right now, you don't have thoughts, you're a robot. Right? And there you give Matanot Levyonim, you give gifts to the poor, and it's done without checking anything. Because whoever puts out their hand, you give. Everybody has access to the ATM on that day. You have money, you give it. And this giving is done with complete bitul, complete nullification of yourself. And the Jew says by way of this, Ani lo bodek klal emi ani noten. I'm not checking at all who I'm giving my money to. Everything Hashem is doing, Himself, and I am just a vessel. Hashem is the only one that exists right now. Hashem is the only one that's present. And you have to feel when you're giving the tzedakah, the Matanot Levyonim, that I am right now taking immense pleasure to nullify myself to Hashem, that even my physical actions I am doing with complete nullification to Hashem. Again, you're giving your money. You're giving your money away, right? That you worked for. But you do it with such a level of bitul that even the physical expression of your bitul, right, is... Even the physical expression of your giving is an expression of bitul. So how do you see this? Because if a person walks up to you and he asks you for money, kid, adult, beggar, rich man, doesn't matter. If he put his hand out in front of you and you have money in your pocket, that means Hashem wanted that situation to happen. Hashem runs the show. No one had to extend their hand to you that day, but if he did, that means Hashem clearly wanted him to put his hand out and for you to give him, no matter who he is. And it's an opportunity for you to express your level of bitul, that you reach in your pocket and all you have is 100 shekel bill on Purim, and you take it out and you say, here, Achshili, here, my brother. You would, in a regular day, you give 100 shekel to a kid, you give 100 shekel to this, you don't know, right? On Purim, whoever puts their hand out, you give. And if that's the only money you have in your pocket, you give it. So be careful on Purim. Maybe you want to walk around with coins and not with bills so much, right? But not with the credit card. Because they have the machines nowadays. They'll be walking around. Right. No, don't worry, we take it. How many payments do you want to do? You want to set it up for, a deposit for the whole entire year? We're going to do a 3-year at 18 shekel a month, right? I give this tzedakah with complete bitul in order to acquire it in my soul and in my body for the whole entire year, to nullify myself in front of Hashem, even in my external actions. And I just read in Rabbi Yitzchak HaGadol, Rabbi Yitzchak HaBuchatzera, the son of the Abir Yaakov, he brings from the Arizal, that when you give tzedakah, another additional intention that we can add to this is, the coin is the yud. Right? The coin is a yud. Your 5 fingers is a hey. Your arm is a vav. And the receiver's hand is a hey. You can bring yud-ke vav-ke into your being by giving tzedakah, by giving this charity. So that's Matanot Levyonim. What's Mishloah Manot? What is giving gifts to your friends? That externally, again, we have to act. We've downloaded the light of Purim internally by way of the Megillah. And now, from such a level of bitul that we achieved, there's a sense of fear, the suspicion that a person will forget his job in this world and he won't do his message that he was sent for, his mission that he was sent for, to keep the Torah properly. Meaning, there's a suspicion that, God forbid, a person is able to act in a form that is not fitting from a deep, deep thought that if everything's Hashem, I don't have to do anything. I'm so nullified that externally, what would I do? Why would I even make an action? And this is a very, very, very grave mistake. Because the truth is that even internally, even the fact that internally everything is just Hashem and Hashem is doing everything, this is not the true reality that Hashem created. Hashem created a place, this world, that there should be a creation and there should be a place of free choice, right? To do the right thing or not. Because Hashem's will is not a person should be living completely nullified by himself. That he should have bitul, he should have nullification with actions. Meaning you should be able to move and do things in the world and still be nullified to Hashem. This is the whole entire purpose of creation. That the creations should act with the power of Hashem and on His mission that He sent you to do, which is to reveal Hashem in the most powerful way possible. Meaning that even here, in this physical world, which is a place that seems as if mankind and creations have all the power, we want to reveal the inner truth, which is that Hashem is the one that's doing everything and we're just His vessels. That's our goal. Therefore, externally, you go and you give gifts to other people. You have to do an action. Even on Purim, when everything is completely revealed, that it's all bitul to Hashem, even then there's halachot. You have to keep the halacha of all the Torah on Purim. You're not exempt. You have to keep halacha. You have to pray. You have to make brachas. You have to be conscious of Hashem. You're not allowed to do whatever you want, like the carnival, lavdil of the goyim, that everything is hefker, right? Everything, you go act in the street like an animal. No. You still have to keep halachot on Purim. So what is the intention behind Mishloah Manot? To do an action like the will of Hashem. They made an institution on this day called Mishloah Manot, the giving of gifts, to send gifts. Mishloach, to send gifts. To show, and even more so, from such a recognition of Hashem, I'm so conscious of Hashem, I'm going to go do actions like He commanded me to do. Because even though I'm nullified to Him, I don't forget that I am a shaliach, I am a messenger. And I care and I worry and I love His children, the children of the King. And I'm not going to ignore them from such a level of nullification. Rather, I'm going to send them gifts to my friends. Mishloach manot, shaliach. I'm a shaliach, I'm an emissary. I'm on a mission and I'm going to send gifts. And by way of this, you have to pay special attention to not forget the needs of those people surrounding you. From such a level of bitul that you forget that your friend needs this or he needs that. Rather, you're going to go into a place of complete bitul in the proper way. To remember, I am a messenger of Hashem in this world. He commanded me to love every single Jew and to take care of him spiritually and physically. The proper way of doing this is bitul inside and actions outside. He's coming to teach us for the whole entire year that the person in this world, he has to act in this world as a messenger of Hashem, but he has to act. Because even though there's a big idea that by way of the revelations of Purim, these wonderful revelations of Purim, which is the secret of knowledge of Yediyah, it's the recognition of Hashem does everything and there's nothing besides Him. On the other side though, the other side of the coin is we have an obligation to mix this up and to unify this with the free will, which is the job of man. And internally, in your heart, you have to know that everything is Hashem, but externally, you have to know, when I do an action in this world, I'm going to be acting as if Hashem's the one doing it. So a person, he needs to go do actions, but he has to do them from a place of memory, that the truth is that Hashem's doing it Himself, He's the only true doer. What is the sign for this? To see what you really feel in your heart. It's when you're successful. When you're not successful, do you fall down to depression? Or do you strengthen yourself? Are you happy with no matter what Hashem's taking you on, whatever path He's leading you on? So too, when a person is successful in his actions, they start to check you. Are you going to fall into pride? Or do you remember the truth? That everything is done by Hashem, and I am just His messenger. So this is the intention that we have to have when we give these gifts to our friends. לכוון שאפילו שאני מבוטל לגמרי אל השם יתברך ואין לי כלל מציאות מכל מקום אני פועל כשלוחו של השם יתברך לגלות אותו כאן בעולם האסתר. My intention is that even though I'm nullified completely to Hashem and I have no reality at all, even though that's the case, I'm going to do and I'm going to act as His messenger to reveal Him here in this world of concealment. And therefore, I'm doing actions, practical actions, to take care of my brother, to make him happy, to give him food for his meal, right? Which is the proper intention. Matanot, Levyonim, Mishloah Manot should be food that can be already eaten inside the meal. And you have the intention to acquire this for the whole entire year in the proper way. That on one side, everything I'm doing is in the will of Hashem. I'm acting and I'm doing the mitzvah that He commanded me to do. But I'm doing them spiritually and physically with the power of the true reality of this world, which is the power of Hashem Yitbarach. Right? Everything is about knowing Hashem. Everything is about getting to the level of Enon Midvado. But it can't be in the way of the Eastern religions that nullify themselves and they don't feel, right? They just sit in the mountains, they don't do anything. No, we're here in a world, we have to take care of our brothers and sisters. We have to be conscious, we have to be aware of people. We have to do good in this world with actions. We can't just be sitting nullified. Oh, I'm such a level of bitul that I can't do anything. No. If Hashem wanted you to be on that level of bitul, He would have left you in the supernal realms. He brought you down to this world so that you can get dirty in actions. Just remember that while you're doing it, that you're not the one doing it. It's really Hashem.